essay 505, which deals with external confirmation, a quite easy standard. You already know what is meant by external confirmation, right? In order to confirm the balances, auditor will send external confirmation, right? This external confirmation, it can be used with respect to trade payables, debtors, or you can use with respect to investments, bank balances, right? So with respect to confirmation of any balances or any information, you can send external confirmation to the third party. Now let us see the actual definition of external confirmation. See, external confirmation is one type of audit evidence that is obtained as a direct written response. See, external confirmation will always be in a written form. Okay, written response to the auditor from a third party in paper form or by electronic or other medium. Okay, now types of confirmation requests. There are basically two types of confirmation request. One is positive confirmation request and another one is the negative confirmation request. Now what is this positive confirmation request? See, in case of a positive confirmation request, if auditor sends positive confirmation request to a particular debtor, let's say, then that particular debtor has to respond in both the situations, that is whether he agrees with the balance or he doesn't agree with the balance. In both the situations, the debtor has to respond to the auditor. That is known as positive confirmation request. Negative confirmation request. In case of a negative confirmation request, the debtor or the respective third party will respond only if he doesn't agree with the information that is present in the confirmation request. Okay, if he agrees with the information that is present in the confirmation request, then the third party, he will not respond in case of a negative confirmation request. Okay, that is the difference between positive confirmation request and negative confirmation request. Next, there is also another type of confirmation request which is known as blank confirmation request. Basically, in case of a blank confirmation request, auditor will not exactly mention the amount. He will just mention that, let's say for example, in the books of accounts of the client, the debtor balance of particular debtor is 1 crore rupees. Now auditor will send a request, a blank confirmation request to that particular debtor, saying that debtor, your account is being shown in the books of accounts of so and so company as debtor. Can you please send us the amount that you have to pay to this company? Now here in this blank, the respective debtor has to fill the amount that is due by him to the company. Hope that is clear. That is known as blank confirmation request, in which auditor will not mention the amount. Okay. Next, controls over external confirmation procedure. Basically, auditor, he himself has to decide which amount has to be confirmed and to which debtor or to which person the request has to be sent, the format of a confirmation request. Okay, with respect to all these aspects, auditor, he himself should have the control. See, auditor shall maintain control over determining the information to be confirmed. Okay, he has to select which information has to be confirmed and also to which person the request has to be sent. See, the select the confirming party. Okay, you should not ask the management to whom should I send the external confirmation request. No, auditor, he himself should select the person or debtor or creditor or to whomever the confirmation request has to be sent. Designing confirmation request. Okay, auditor, he himself has to design the confirmation request and he himself has to send the request and follow up request. Okay, he has to maintain control over all these aspects. He cannot assign these duties to other people. Hope that is clear. He cannot delegate those activities. Next, factors to be considered when designing confirmation request. Okay, when you design the confirmation request that has to be sent to the third party, what factors has to be taken into account? First of all, assertions addressed. Okay, which assertions you want to address? If you are sending confirmation request to a debtor, you wanted to address existence assertion, you wanted to address the valuation assertion, right? So like this, which type of assertion you wanted to address, you need to consider this in designing the confirmation request. Next, you should also consider identified risk of material misstatement, whether there is any risk of material misstatement in that area. If yes, then you should be very careful in designing the confirmation request. Next, you should also consider layout and presentation, and you should also consider prior experience with respect to that third party, and also method of communication, how you are communicating, whether you are sending it through post or mail, or you are physically visiting and giving the confirmation request. Okay, what is the method of communication, that also you should consider in designing the confirmation request. And management's authorization, whether management is authorizing you to send the confirmation request, and ability of intended confirming party. You should also consider whether the person to whom you are addressing the confirmation request is having capability, is having capacity to provide the information that has been asked by you. That means you should also consider the ability of the confirming party. All this you need to consider while designing the confirmation request. Next, there are certain special cases with respect to external confirmation. Let us see those special cases. See, if auditor is having doubt about the reliability of response, okay, auditor has sent external confirmation request, he has received the response, but auditor is having doubt about reliability of this response. In such a situation, obtain further audit evidence to resolve the doubt. Okay, you have obtained one of the audit evidence, that is external confirmation. You are having doubt about reliability of this evidence, then you can obtain some other audit evidence. Okay, you can perform further audit procedures and you can obtain further audit evidence to confirm this external confirmation. Next, if confirmation that response is not reliable, okay, in the first situation you just have a doubt that response might not be reliable. In second situation, you have got a confirmation that yes, the response that is given by this third party is not correct. In such a situation, evaluate impact on the assessment of risk of material misstatement. Okay, you have to consider the risk of material misstatement. Already you have determined a risk of material misstatement, right? Based on that, you have sent a external confirmation request. Now that confirmation that you have received is wrong. Now because of this situation, there is a possibility that the risk of material misstatement in this area might be even higher. So you have to again recalculate the risk of material misstatement, taking this into account. Next, no response. If you have not received any response, perform alternate audit procedures to obtain audit evidence. Next, exceptions identified. Exceptions identified means in the external confirmation request, the third party, the debtor, told that he has to pay only 50 lakhs to the entity, but in the books of accounts of the entity it is showing that 1 lakh has to be received from that particular debtor. Now there is a exception, right? Now in this, if the exception is identified, investigate exceptions to determine whether they are indicative of misstatement. You have to investigate this exception and determine whether this is a misstatement, because just because of the fact that the confirmation request is not matching with the amount, it need not be misstatement. Might be the debtor himself might have sent a wrong amount, right? So you have to investigate whether the amount shown in our books is wrong or the amount confirmed by the debtor is wrong. Which is wrong, you need to identify and you need to determine whether it is a misstatement. Some exceptions do not represent misstatement. I have already told you now, all exceptions need not be misstatement. There is a possibility that even debtor might have sent a wrong figure by mistake or due to various reasons. Okay, these are certain special cases. Next, management's refusal to allow auditor to send external confirmation request. Now auditor wanted to send external confirmation request to a particular debtor whose worth is some 2 crore rupees. Now management is saying that auditor, you please don't send external confirmation to the debtor because there is a case going on in the court. There is a dispute with respect to this amount, so there is a case going on. Now in this situation, if management refuses you to send external confirmation request, you should first of all ask the management, why I should not send the external confirmation request, what is the reason. Then management will tell their reasons, whatever the reasons they might tell. One of the example is there might be some dispute going on, so because of that dispute in the case, management is asking not to send external confirmation request, because if you send external confirmation request, then that request will act as a evidence for that third party in the court of law. So or some other reason might be given by management. Now auditor has to evaluate whether this reason is correct. Okay, and auditor should try to obtain audit evidence by some alternate audit procedures. If auditor is not able to obtain audit evidence through alternate audit evidence, then he needs to obviously determine impact on his opinion. He needs to modify the opinion. See, inquire reasons for management's refusal, evaluate implication or risk of material misjudgment, perform alternate procedure to obtain audit evidence. If auditor concludes that management reason is unreasonable and not able to obtain audit evidence from alternate procedure, communicate with those charged with governance and determine implications on auditor's opinion. Right. Next, negative confirmation request shall not be used as sole substantive audit procedures unless, okay, you can use negative confirmation request only in the following situations. Okay, apart from the following situations, you should not use negative confirmation request as sole sole audit procedure. What are they? Risk of material misstatement is low and controls relating to assertions operating effectively. Okay, if risk of material misstatement is low, then you can send a negative confirmation request. Negative confirmation request means the confirming party will respond only if he doesn't agree with the information. Okay, you can use that negative confirmation request if risk of material misstatement is low and the controls that are operating in that area are effective. Okay, in that situation you can use negative confirmation request. Or population consists of large number of small homogeneous items. Homogeneous items means, let's say for example, there are 1000 debtor balances and the balance of these 1000 debtors is like this: 100 rupees, 50 rupees, 60 rupees, 80 rupees. Okay, like this small balances. So these are large number of small homogeneous amounts. So for these types also you can send negative confirmation request. Next, low exception rate is expected. Low exception rate is expected means the deviation between the confirmation request and the amount is not expected. That means there will not be deviation between the confirmation amount and the balance that is shown in the books of accounts. Okay, 99.99% cases there will not be any deviation. That means low exception rate is expected. In such a situation also you can use negative confirmation request. Next, auditor not aware of circumstances that causes the confirming party to disregard the request. Okay, auditor doesn't believe that the confirming party will not care the external confirmation. Okay, auditor believes that the confirming party will take these request serious and he will respond if there is any difference. Okay, if auditor is sure that the confirming party will not neglect the request, that means he will not disregard the request. The confirming party will not disregard the request. Disregard means he will not neglect the request. In such a situation, auditor can use negative confirmation request. Okay, so this is essay 505, external confirmation.